Hey, what's up, YouTube? Your boy Chris. I'm actually here at Honda out here in Daytona, and I'm fixing to take out the 2025 Honda Goldwing. I'm going to demo this Honda Goldwing. Right now, I'm going to be riding the 2025. This will be the 50th year anniversary. The 50th year anniversary DCT. There's my Honda Goldwing just over there. So I came out here this morning. They wanted me to do a test ride and kind of demo this Honda Goldwing. And after I demoed this Honda Goldwing, I'm going to give Honda my opinion about this particular bike.
Go ahead and start her up. Good?
So I'm going to be taking out this Honda Goldwing and just talking about the difference between the Honda Goldwing. Let's see here. We do have a plug there. Great. I'll talk about that here in a minute. Move the parking brake. Take that off. So, yeah, I'm perfect. I'm perfect.
Goldwing Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who is fearless. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause in a world of reckless automobiles. These are my motovlogs.
So we're gonna take this thing out, man. I noticed the screen is a little bit different. I'll talk about that. I'm just observing to see if there are any differences on this new bike in comparison to my current Honda Goldwing. So we're gonna take this thing out for a test ride. See what I think. So a lot of people out here today. We got some representatives out here today. I actually put up a teaser video letting you guys know that I was actually in town, and I wanted to just show you guys that I was here. So some of you guys out there commented and kind of asked about, some of you guys commented and asked about, you know, the demo itself. And so I decided to get this thing and just take it out for a test ride. So here in a moment, we're gonna just be going out, and I'm gonna let you guys know what I actually think about this particular bike. But sitting here on the bike, it doesn't feel any different. I know some of you guys got some questions. I know some of you guys got some questions about this bike. And we're gonna take this thing out and just see how it feels. I want to give a shout out this morning to Mr. Charlie Brown. Mr. Charlie Brown out there in East Ridge, Tennessee, out there at Southern Honda. Shouts out to Mr. Charlie Brown this morning. So we out here at the Speedway out here in Daytona, Florida. Man, the weather is perfect. There's Yamaha. A lot of different vendors out here today. Yamaha's out here. Harley is out here. There's Kawasaki. Kawasaki is out here as well. All right, y'all, we out on the Honda Goldwing. They want us to ride in a staggered formation. Smooth as butter. Smooth as butter. Right now I have the Honda Goldwing in automatic. It's a Harley with no helmet. All right, so here we go. Out here in Daytona, Florida. There's the welcome to Daytona Beach sign there in front of me. I'm out here on the DCT Honda Goldwing. So hey everybody, how's everybody doing? If you guys are just tuning in to the channel, take the opportunity to click the subscribe button. Take this opportunity to click the subscribe button. I am your host, Biker Caliente, and this is my official ride of the 2025 Honda Goldwing. You know, there's been a lot of videos we've been seeing out here about the 2025 Honda Goldwing, a lot of AI images, but the new Honda Goldwing is out and they have some different paint schemes, some different paint colors. Today I'm riding the paint scheme. It's a gold, like a two-tone with the brown. I'm not even sure the name of the paint scheme of this particular Honda Goldwing, but it is identical to the Goldwing that's next to me. So as you guys can see, it got the beautiful color. It has the gold scheme. It's just like my 2021 Honda Goldwing. To be honest with you, it's actually the same bike. Now, one of the things that I immediately noticed is that the display screen looks a little bit different. It's the same size, but it looks a little bit different. The icons are bigger. It just looks a little bit different here on the screen. We have the same thing on the previous generation, but the screen looks a little bit different. But as far as the gauges, it looks the same. The mileage, just gonna move this around. I just want to verify that everything is the same. Yep. This bike here only has 97 miles, 972 miles on it. I should have brought my cord and plugged in my cable. So they're giving you a USB type C. Okay, that's one of the differences I noticed immediately. Now, is that a dongle or is that, I'm not sure if that's a dongle, but it has a USB type C connector there inside of the glove box. But as far as the way the bike actually feels, it feels the same. It feels pretty good, actually. It feels pretty good, man. The bikes feel tight. And, you know, maybe because my bike is broke in, I have about 25,000 miles on my bike. But it feels the same. The windshield is the same. This windshield is actually shorter. I have the F4 custom windshield on my Honda Goldwing. If you guys are looking for a great windshield to add to your Honda Goldwing, the F4 custom Honda windshield is a great windshield to have. But everything looks the same, man. I mean, everything is in the same place. I even talked to one of the reps. I talked to one of the reps and asked him about, you know, does the Honda Goldwing has the brake interlock that will not allow you to put the bike in gear when the parking brake on, and he said it does not. Now, I haven't tested it yet, but I'm probably 99% sure that Honda did not put an interlock on the, they did not put an interlock on the parking brake. So yeah, it's just like my bike, man. I really can't tell the difference as far as the way it feels tight now. It does feel tight. I got to give it that. It feels nice and tight. The 2025 Honda Goldwing has a very good feel on it. I'm going to go over with you a couple of changes that I would like to see Honda make to this new style Honda Goldwing, and then I'm going to give you the top 5 things I actually like about the bike. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give you my top 5 things I like about this bike, and then I'm going to kind of talk about some of the changes that I would like to see on this 2025 Honda Goldwing. One of the things that I like about the Honda Goldwing, and this is my top 5, one of the things I like is my key fob. That's my number 5, the key fob. What do I like about the key fob? Well, I'm glad you asked. On the previous generation Honda Goldwing, you know, sometimes when you get to your destination and you walk off from your bike, you start wondering, did I lock my saddlebags? Did I lock my trunk? And you go to wondering, and a lot of times you're out of range from your push button, or you walk back to your bike to verify that your bike is locked. And sometimes you have actually forgotten to lock the bike. The thing I like about the key fob on the DCT or the new style Honda Goldwing, including the manual as well, is that the proximity key fob will lock your trunk and saddlebags once you walk away from the bike. So it's not a good idea. Don't put your keys in the trunk and close it, because if you do, you know, you don't want to lock your keys inside of the trunk. But as long as the remote is near the bike, it should unlock anyway. But that's one of the things I like about this particular Honda Goldwing is the key fob. I don't have to take a key and actually stick it in the ignition to crank the bike. You know, as long as I'm in proximity of the bike, as long as I'm right up on the bike, the proximity key will allow me to crank the bike, and it will lock the saddlebags when I walk away from the bike, and it'll lock the trunk when I walk away from the bike. But when I come back to the bike, it'll automatically unlock because of the proximity key fob. So that was the number 5. So what's the number 4 thing that I like about this particular Honda Goldwing? Will be the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Man, that is one of the reasons why I actually sold Big Sexy. I'm not going to get into Big Sexy here in this video, but that's one of the reasons why I sold Big Sexy, man. The Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, man, you can't beat that, because, you know, your phone is an extension of the rider. So a lot of times you take your phone with you and you use it actually as a GPS. But the thing I like about this Honda Goldwing with the Apple CarPlay Android Auto, you plug in your phone and it'll mirror your phone onto the screen, and that's a big improvement. And when you're talking about having a GPS on your bike, it actually magnifies the GPS display screen and makes it bigger. So on your phone, the streets, you can't even see them, but on this Honda Goldwing, once you plug it in, it'll actually magnify the screen and make it bigger. So I love the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That was my number 4. That was my number 4 thing that I like about the Honda Goldwing. What's my number 3? The number 3 thing I like about the Honda Goldwing is the big oversized trunk. You know, this trunk is so big, man, you could actually put 2 helmets in the trunk. 2 full-size modular helmets. I gotta give it that. You can put 2. Oh, lean them wings. Lean them wings. Ride your ride. Lean them wings. But you can put 2 full modular helmets in the trunk, and that makes a world of difference when you're talking about cargo space, because when you're on your bike, man, a lot of times you want to take things with you, a rain suit, an extra jacket, or an extra helmet. You know, you might be riding with a passenger, so having additional room in the trunk, man, makes a world of difference. So that would be my number 3, would be the oversized trunk on the Honda Goldwing. So what is my number 2? What is the number 2 thing that I like about the Honda Goldwing? And I'm just gonna put this in a bundle. I love the electronic dashboard. I love being able to see my fuel range. I love being able to see my current air temperature. I don't have to press a button. I love being able to see the tire pressure, you know. So I love the electronics of the dash, you know. And when it comes to the fuel range, if you guys are doing traveling, especially on the older Goldwing, you know, you don't know how much fuel you got. You got to kind of calculate how much fuel range you have on the bike. But this new style Honda Goldwing would actually calculate the distance for you, so it'll let you know how many miles you have before the bike actually runs out of fuel. So I think that's very important. You know, you can guesstimate it on the older Goldwings, but with this new Goldwing, you can actually tell your fuel range. So I actually love that about this new style Honda Goldwing, and that would be the digital dash. That's my number 2. That's my number 2 thing that I like about this particular bike. Which brings me to my number 1. My number 1. So what is the number 1? What's the number 1 thing that I like about, or the number 1 accessory, or the number 1 thing that I like about this particular Honda Goldwing? That would be the DCT engine. Man, that makes a world of difference. Woo! What I like about the DCT? Well, I'm glad you asked. And there's so many features about the DCT I like, so I'm just going to dive into it. So what I like about the DCT engine is, first of all, it's a 7-speed automatic. So you can get the Honda Goldwing in a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed automatic. Now, I know there's a lot of riders out there that says, well, I like shifting my gears. I like being able to shift the gears. I want to feel the transmission. I want to shift the gears myself. And I do understand, because for years I felt the same way. I used to say that if I ever bought a new style Honda Goldwing, I would get a manual, because that's what I was used to. But I'm here to tell you that a manual in comparison to the DCT is like trying to compare a CD to an MP3 player. The MP3 player is a lot better than a CD. A CD works, but an MP3 is better. So I know there's a lot of riders that say, man, if I was going to get a new bike, I would get the manual. In my personal opinion, and it's just my personal opinion, I know we're all different. If you're going to go with a bike like this, I would say get the DCT, man. You're getting a 7-speed transmission as opposed to the 6-speed manual. So that means that it's going to run at a lower RPMs, which equates to fuel savings. So I really love that about the DCT engine. What else do I like about the DCT engine? I like being able to put the bike in automatic, or I can put the bike in manual, so I still can shift gears. If I want to shift gears manually, all I have to do is press this little AM button here on my right, press that button, and now the bike is actually in manual. And here on my left you have a advanced button with a plus sign that's on the other side of this handlebar, and then you have a negative here. So if I want to shift gears, I just press the button on my left to shift the gear up, or I can press the button with my thumb to gear down. So that's manual. Now here's the beauty of the DCT. I can go back to automatic. Okay, so now it's in automatic. One of the things I really love about this is that if you're coming into a corner hot, if you're coming into a corner real fast, you can still downshift. So all you have to do is just hit the button, just like I did, and it downshifts for you. You can downshift, or you can actually upshift. So I really love that about the DCT engine. I really love that about the DCT engine. So man, that's a game changer. That's one of the reasons, that kind of pushed me over the edge to sell Big Sexy. The manual is fine, but the DCT, man, is a game changer. So that's my number 1, would be the DCT engine. So what changes do I think Honda need to make to this new style Honda Goldwing? Well, I'm glad you asked. Some of the changes that I think Honda need to make to this new style Honda Goldwing is, I think that some wind deflectors should be standard. One of the things about the Honda Goldwing is that when you're riding on the highway, man, it'll get a lot of wind on you. I think that the new style Honda Goldwing should have some wind deflectors standard. I think that would be great. Also, what else do I think that the new style Honda Goldwing needs? I think it should come with a custom seat. I think a custom seat should be standard on the Honda Goldwing. A good seat that I highly recommend would be the Ultimate seat. Check out my videos for the Ultimate seat. And here's another thing that Honda need to change on this new style Honda Goldwing would be the mirrors. Man, the mirrors on this new style Honda Goldwing, they're sporty, but they're small. So, you get those blind spots. So how can you eliminate those small mirrors on this new style Honda Goldwing? Well, you can always go to Gold Strike, and you can add the Panavista extended convex mirrors like I added on my Honda Goldwing. You can get them with the sequential turn signals in the mirrors, or you can actually get them without the this sequential turn signal. So I think that Honda need to make some bigger mirrors for this Honda Goldwing. Another thing that Honda need to improve on this Honda Goldwing is that they need to put an interlock excuse me, they need to put an interlock on the parking brake, just like they did the kickstand. They need to put an interlock, make sure no cars coming. They need to put an interlock on the kickstand, because you can end up burning out. Put it back in automatic. You can end up burning out your parking brakes, and that actually happened to me. I actually burnt out my parking brakes. If you guys missed the video or would like to know how to actually change out your parking brake if you accidentally pull off and burn off your parking brake, you can click on the link in the top corner. Something is going on over here. Might be a biker down. I don't know what's going on. I think Honda need to put an interlock on the parking brake. So just like the kickstand, the thing with the kickstand is if the kickstand is down, you can't put the bike in gear. But Honda didn't put that interlock on the parking brake, so you could actually pull off with the bike in with the parking brake on. I mean, this engine has so much power, man. You can pull off with this thing and with the parking brake on. So I think they need to put an interlock on this Honda Goldwing as well. So I think that's a change that Honda should make to this new style Honda Goldwing. Also, I think Honda should make some round handlebars for this new style Honda Goldwing. I mean, you know, I understand this shape, but you know, when it comes to putting accessories on your handlebars, I think it would behoove Honda to go with some round handlebars. But the handlebars that are on here now are made of an odd shape. They're made of an odd shape. So in my personal opinion, I think Honda should have went with some round handlebars. And let me see if the parking brake is up. Could I put it in gear? So I'm gonna lift the parking brake is up, and see the bike goes into gear. And see, that's a problem. That's a problem. When you pull that parking brake, you should not be able to put this bike in gear. So now you can actually pull off and burn out your parking brakes. Now they do give you a little red light up here that will show you that your parking brake on, but if you're not looking at your dash, if you're focusing forward on the traffic or the things that's going on around you, then you're not going to see that. And by the time you realize it, you're going to pull off, and your parking brake pads are going to be burned out. So I highly recommend Honda needs to put a parking interlock on this particular Honda Goldwing. So I just took out the new style Honda Go. Sir?
You have a good ride?
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Yes, sir. I do want to talk to
those gentlemen over there.
Okay.
For the post ride, you know, those are R&D guys from the
okay.
port of Japan. So
okay.
They'd love to hear whatever your thoughts are.
Okay. I'll talk to them.
Believe me, I've already talked to them. I'm like, hey, because I got a 24.
Okay.
Hey, I'd really love to see a digital display instead of this dang analog.
Yeah.
But tell them they're interested.
Okay. I'll talk to them.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And if you got a few moments to do our own little post-ride survey.
Okay.
You have time. We're here all week. You don't have to do it right now, but
okay.
Time, just QR code it and appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Sir. Have a good day.
All right. So yeah, I love the paint scheme on the Honda Goldwing. Everything looks the same. I don't see any changes. Now, like I said, here in the glove box, I noticed that you are getting a USB type C. Now I don't know if that's a dongle. Let me see. Nope, that's not a dongle. So you get a USB type C. Definitely getting that. Yeah, I think because once I put wind deflectors on my bike, man, that made a world of difference. So I'm looking at this thing, man. Everything looks the same. See here. I'm gonna look in the saddlebag. Everything looks the same. Let me walk around here to the trunk. Open up the trunk. Oh, okay, they did give you this little I'm not sure if they give this, but this particular bike actually has like a little cargo net in here where you can put a few accessories, and it gave you a mat for the trunk. My Honda Goldwing did not give me a mat. So I noticed that about it. My Honda Goldwing did not give me a mat. Okay, they didn't give you no saddlebag mats. Let's see, did they give you a plug in there? Okay, you still have a plug under here. You still have that plug. Okay. It actually gives a heated seat for the passenger. I noticed it does give you a heated seat. Honda still went with those same, in my opinion, cheap highway pegs on a touring bike. They went with those foot pegs. Correction, they went with foot pegs. I think that those should be some highway pegs. So everything pretty much looks the same. To my understanding, the only changes would be the wireless Apple CarPlay and the wireless Apple CarPlay and the colors. And Honda removed the native GPS off of the display screen. So anyway, I'm gonna go and talk to these guys and let them know what I think about this particular Honda Goldwing, and I will get back with you guys and talk to you guys later. If you guys like this video, click the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you a little bit later out here on the Goldwing. Thank you.